Jumps when you hear the national debt is over $37 trillion. Do you ever think, well, maybe now would be a good time to buy some gold? Whether as a hedge against inflation, peace of mind during global instability, or just for sensible diversification, the Birch Gold Group believes that every American should own physical gold. So they created something special. Until September 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, the Birch Gold Group is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 in free metals on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and to start the process, request an information kit now. In order to do so, simply text the word America to the number 989898. The Birch Gold Group can also help roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you're still eligible for a rebate in free metals of up to $10,000. Birch Gold is the only precious metals company so many Americans trust, and they've got tens of thousands of customers. So make right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate of up to $10,000 when you buy by September 30th. Text the word America to the number 989898. Claim your eligibility and get your free information kit. Again, text the word America to the number 989898. Terrence Bates here with your Real America's Voice Newsbreak. Thanks for being here with us. The latest jobs report is out and unemployment is up slightly. A look inside the numbers shows 22,000 jobs were added to the economy last month, which is way down from the 79,000 jobs that were forecast. While unemployment is now up to 4.3%, it's still at a historically low level. And outside the White House, President Trump's top secretaries and advisors were asked about the report.
All the indicators that we're seeing are that inflation is low and economic growth is solid. Income growth's solid as well. So that the only part of the data that's disappointing is that the jobs numbers have been a little bit lower over the last 3 or 4 months. The unemployment rates have ticked up a little bit, but right now we're highly confident with the trends that native-born workers are replacing the illegal workers that are either now not new coming to the country or going back to their homes.
Also happening at the White House today, President Trump set to sign another executive order. We'll have more on that throughout the day here on Real America's Voice.
The hardest working radio show in the business. The Charlie Kirk Show.
All right, welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show. Andrew Kolvet, executive producer of this fine show, in for you here at the Bitcoin.com mobile studio, your place to buy, sell, trade, manage your Bitcoin all in one place. I want to tell you about Hillsdale College, history, economics, the great works of literature. Did you study these things in school? I studied some of them. I did not study all of them. I had a pretty good school, but we missed some of these. Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses, including their newest course on totalitarian novels. In this free 8-lecture course, you'll learn from Hillsdale College president Larry Arnn, the GOAT, as he goes in-depth on 4 novels, 1984, Brave New World, Darkness at Noon, and That Hideous Strength. Even though these novels were written in the 1930s and 40s, they are more important today probably than they've ever been. They expose the tyrannical nature of human nature. And more importantly, they can show us that faith, family, and friends and country are worth fighting for. Maybe you read these books a long time ago in school. Maybe you've heard others talk about them, and they seem a little intimidating. Let Hillsdale College help, and you will get the most out of them if you do it this way. So go to Charlie for Hillsdale.com, CHARLIE for Hillsdale.com to enroll. There's no cost. It's easy to get started, and they have so many courses there. It's gonna blow your mind. These are some really, really valuable things. I wish everybody in America was mandated to take Hillsdale online courses. It would be a better country. Charlie for Hillsdale.com. With me now is a friend from Chicago and a great intrepid reporter who's keeping that city's politicians honest. And, of course, I'm talking about William J. Kelly, reporter William J. Kelly. Sir, welcome to the show. You are at a critical place in this country so it feels like all roads lead to Chicago right now, which is kind of why the city started in the first place. So maybe it's apropos. give us the latest on the ground. It seems like you're seeing a division where you've got some high-level people on a national level, like Scarborough, we'll play that clip, David Axelrod. You have people calling on the city to cooperate, but the city's officials and political leaders are digging their heels in. The floor is yours, William J. Kelly.
Well, God bless you, Andrew, and thank you for having me. You're right. I mean, I've always felt that Chicago is kind of ground zero, all the way back to when I tried to warn some people about my state senator, Barack Obama, and they all laughed. Oh, boy, I can still hear the laughter. But yeah, I mean, whether it's Barack Obama, Rahm Emanuel, and just so you know, J.B. Pritzker, Governor Pritzker, has presidential ambitions. And everything that he's doing right now, the only possible explanation for it is that he thinks it's going to get him the White House. Because there's no other, he's a very smart man. Make no mistake about it. He's a billionaire. And there's no logical explanation for why you would have a SAFE-T Act, for example. This is his signature legislation that allows the most violent criminals out on no cash bail. Violent offenders. Yeah.
I have to give you some due here, William J. Kelly, and that is reporterwilliamjkelly.com. Check him out. This is a clip from you trying to get answers about some of these very dangerous illegals that he seems to not care about, that are being released to harass, maim, kill, murder, molest young kids. I mean, so many of these stories. It's just terrible. Let's go ahead and play cut 450.
ICE agents that are on the way. And again, many of the people who are coming seem to be coming from Los Angeles and having been part of that raid. So if you want to look at what it is that they're planning to do, you can just look at what they did in Los Angeles. Megaphones, microphones, go to the ballot box. Those are all the things that I said. Let's be clear. And to the extent that people want to protest, they have that First Amendment right to do so. All I'm saying, as I said back then, is that you ought to do it peacefully and that you ought to make your voices heard.
Governor Pritzker, a very important question regarding the illegal alien, José Luis Mendoza-González, that was released under your...
Just walks away.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, so obviously he wants to run for president. He's using this standoff with President Trump as a way to increase his name ID, increase him being viewed as the fighter in his party that they are so desperate to find. And yet it's pure callousness because he's hurting the people of Chicago and the people of Illinois in order to benefit himself politically, which I think is going to backfire, mind you. But nevertheless, I want the audience to fully he will not answer your question about José Luis Mendoza-González. Who is this man and why did you ask about him?
Well, one of many. He's an illegal alien. He is charged with concealing and abusing the corpse of an Illinois mother of two.
Dear God.
Yeah, and he's still under investigation for a variety of other things. But here's the thing: under Pritzker SAFE-T Act, José Luis Mendoza-González, if that's even his real name, how would we even know, right? Has been released. So, I mean, and this is just one of many. If you are a human being, I mean, I'm not talking about if you've been elected to protect, which I think is the number one responsibility of elected officials, to provide safety for citizens, right? But if you've been elected to do it, if you've been charged with doing that, if you've been hired to do that, you would think that would be the number one priority, right? The only, and then, whatever else, clean streets or something would be like a distant second, right? But it seems like with our elected officials, and of course Mayor Johnson in Chicago, that this is the least of their interests. From the lockdown and the looting of the race riots that Chicago still hasn't recovered from, by the way. And then, of course, the big migrant crisis of the last few years that bankrupted.
Exactly. Well, and there is 500,000 illegals in Chicago. Is that correct? At least estimated?
Who knows? Nobody knows. We'll find out when they vote, right?
That's an extraordinarily high number. of
Yes.
illegal immigrants to be in one city. I mean, when you think about the congestion, when you think about the housing pressure, this pressure on schools, I mean, it's just an incredible burden to place on any tax-paying base, let alone Chicago, which is losing native-born citizens at an alarming clip. This is what I also find interesting, though. And I think this is why it's a winning political issue for President Trump. I mean, crime is like a 90-10 issue. It's actually about a 99-1 issue, according to some polls. People think it's either a serious problem in urban centers or at least somewhat of a problem. That's 99%. Recent poll came out. But here's what's interesting. Top national Democrats like David Axelrod and Joe Scarborough are beginning to break with the Illinois politicians. Let's go ahead and play cut 422. This is David Axelrod.
I would be careful about playing 28 politics on this issue because the right answer is we'll take all the help we can get as long as it's appropriate help, as long as it's stuff that will really help. I mean, these National Guardsmen aren't even trained to do that work. They're not authorized to do that work. So, send us the resources that we need. We want to work with you. If there are people doing violent crimes here who are illegal immigrants, we want them out of our city. We'll work with you on that. I think that's the appropriate position to take.
Fair enough.
Wow. Shocking stuff from CNN, but he's not alone. MSNBC gets into it. Play cut 446.
I actually think that J.B. Pritzker should do something radical. I think he should pick up the phone, call the president, and say, let's partner up. These are the most dangerous parts of my state. We would love to figure out how to have a partnership that's constitutional, that respects the sort of balance of federalism between the federal government and the state government. And let's work together to save lives. Because right now, just hey, nothing to see here moving along. No problem here. Hey, Donald Trump, we don't need you. And, the mayor talking about we're going to protect people's dignity in our city. Well, protect their lives. That's protecting their dignity.
Wow. William J. Kelly, does Chicago need federal help?
Well, they needed it for the DNC, if you recall. You were in town, I remember. They had the Democrat National Convention in Chicago, and they had no trouble using the National Guard to protect their donors. Andrew, do you remember? They had no trouble using the National Guard as their valets for their VIP donors, but personal security. But as the weekend violence continued in Chicago with 20, 30, 40, 50. In some cases, I remember weekends with 80 people shot. This is beyond third world. You'd be safer in, pick a country, Haiti, Somalia, I don't know, pick a country. Every weekend, the number of people shot and murdered, not to mention assaulted. We have cases, repeat offenders who are arrested, let out of jail, and then they immediately go right back onto
this is right.
and punch a woman in the face.
Yeah, that was a viral story this week, and it's terrible. Yes.
Well,
but you're zeroing in on something really important. I want the audience to fully absorb this. Most of the violent crime in this country, even most of the petty crime, for that matter, is done by a very small percentage of the population that is continually, like a revolving door, released back onto the streets to maim, hurt, kill, and murder and rape. Okay? And this small group could be permanently locked up, and you would see crime fall like a rock. You would see it plummet. Why do Democrats in the city of Chicago seem to love crime so much? William J. Kelly, about 30 seconds.
Well, the really sad fact of the matter is that small group is growing because a lot of the illegals are now strangling women in the street, just on the sidewalk in the middle of the day.
But William, I was told that illegal immigrants commit less crime than Americans.
Well, maybe that's because they're not being charged and convicted. So of course, statistics are funny things, right, Andrew?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. William J. Kelly, you are at a really important time in a really important city. at a confluence of really powerful forces. Please keep covering it. Tell people where they can follow your work. The floor is yours.
ReporterWilliamJKelly.com. Believe it or not, I have a legal defense fund, a GoFundMe on that page. I've literally been threatened by the mayor's office to have my credential, my media credential revoked. I've had this happen before under Lightfoot. So anyone who wants to keep me in the press, ReporterWilliamJKelly.com.
Good for you. God bless you, brother. Keep up the good work. Keep their holding their feet to the fire. This is a developing story. We're going to keep covering it, and we hope cooler heads will prevail. We'll be right back.
You.